everybody, welcome back. Today I will be doing another Luxe ChitChat video. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I have a couple of things that I thought about. I was like, yeah, I want to make that in a video. So the first one I'll be doing today, I'm doing two by the way, so you'll see the same backdrop in my next video. But the first one I'll be doing today is actually talking about my perfect work bag. In my entire collection, I do have a few bags that I feel are my perfect work bags. Like I have quite a few casual bags, bags I want to go out with, and bags that I can transition from day to night kind of bags. But I have a few bags that I feel are perfect work bags for me. I mean, this is in my personal opinion because the way, you know, depending on your kind of work environment or depending on your kind of work life that you need, for me, these are the bags that suit my kind of work life. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kat and I normally do a lot of luxury items, luxury reviews, handbag reviews, unboxings, luxe items, you know. But I do have makeup reviews as well. I do current favorites and I do some vlogging. I haven't been doing any vlogging for a while, so I have to get back into it. But yeah, I hope you subscribe, and for my regular subbies, welcome back and let's get to this video. Let me talk about my work environment first. So I work in a corporate setting. I don't work, you know, in a casual startup kind of, you know, environment. I work in IT, but that doesn't mean I go to work in jeans and shorts and I'm there coding. No, I actually work in the corporate office, so I do have to dress quite formally. Not to say I need to wear a suit and jacket. I can wear, you know, pretty dresses and all, but I think it's because of my background as well. Before I came into my current job, I was actually a consultant. I worked in an audit firm. I'm not an auditor, but I worked in the advisory side for about 4.5 years. So that kind of shaped my dressing, because in that kind of environment I have to meet clients, I have to be at clients' place, I have to be working, you know, in the office. So you have to wear, you know, black skirt, heels, corporate shirt, you know, with a suit. You know, you got to be properly dressed because you're in a client setting, you know, client environment, right? Oh, not client environment. You are in a, you know, a consulting environment, but you will meet clients. So after that, when I moved into my current position now, where I'm on the, you know, other side, I do meet people, but I don't meet customers. I'm not in the customer facing. I'm still in the back office. So I do meet, like I have to see my bosses, obviously. Then I would meet with other, you know, vendors, and I'll meet with, you know, go for events and all. So I have shaped my dressing to be more subdued, less you know, flowery, less colorful. I wear lots of black, lots of gray, lots of neutral colors. Now when it comes to my work bag, it's because I need to match my outfit to my work bag. Now the only time that I can be a little bit more flamboyant, if you want to say flamboyant, with my bags are on Fridays, which is dressed down, where I can wear jeans and shirt and I can have a more fun bag. But on the most times, because I'm not a person that switches out my bags all the time, so most times I would use a bag for about 2 weeks in a row before I switch it out. My first criteria for a perfect work bag is a bag that is understated. So when I say understated, it can mean a lot of things, but for me, when I say understated, it means that it doesn't have much logo on it. So LV monogram is quite out. I do bring it, but I feel it's a little bit loud for work, so I won't use a bag with lots of logos on it. Then minimal hardware. That's another thing, because there are some bags that have a lot of hardware, like chunky hardware, that it just makes the bag look a little bit louder, you know, brighter, more, you know, it stands out more, so it's definitely not understated. So less hardware is something that I prefer. Then of course color would be another one that would make the bag more understated. So obviously black would be the easiest choice, but of course I have bags that are neutral colors, so like beige, maybe browns, maybe dark blues, dark greens, that kind of color that is less bright, you know, not like a yellow bag. So an example would be my Chanel jumbo bag. I know, Chanel understated. Actually, if you don't know the brand, you don't know Chanel, you don't know anything about Chanel bags, you wouldn't know that this is a really like expensive bag, you know what I mean? You would think, oh, that's a nice structured bag, because it's also black and I picked it in the silver hardware. I feel like it's very understated. It doesn't shout Chanel, it doesn't shout, you know, if you're concerned about Chanel, just flip it over to your body and then the 2cc's are, you know, not obvious. So unless you know the quilts and all, you wouldn't know that this is a Chanel bag. So I like the fact that this is, to me, understated. The other understated bag to me is my toolbox. My toolbox, Hermes, from Hermes, size 26. It's in the blue Thalassa color, so it's a more of a darker blue color. Very little hardware, totally no logo, and you know, it's in a darker color. In fact, if you pick this bag and you picked it in black, nobody would be even like know it is a Hermes bag. It's like, okay, nice bag. The other criteria that I look for a perfect work bag is actually structure. So for work, I prefer a structured bag. I like my bag to have that kind of boxier shape, or a bag that has the shape. So coming back to my Chanel bag, this to me is a very structured bag. Like, obviously, you know, it's rectangular, it's got, you know, it doesn't slouch, it keeps its shape, and on top of it being understated in the sense, I picked the black color with the silver hardware, and then it doesn't really shout Chanel unless you know Chanel. And it is also structured. This is like an amazing, perfect work bag. When the bag is not structured, it is quite, I don't want to say unsightly, but when you're digging your bag like this, and you're in a client setting place, or you know, you're in a vendor's place, or you're meeting some investors, or you're meeting in some event and you're like digging your bag like that, it looks quite unsightly, you know what I mean? So having a bit more structure, that the bag is not like absolutely a big bag pit, I feel like you can be a little bit more ladylike. When you open it, you're like, oh, there's my lipstick, there's my wallet, there's my diary. It makes it a little bit easier to find things because it has a bit of structure. Back to my Hermes bag, it is actually quite slouchy. So this bag, the only part that I feel like it has that structure is the base, so this part and the top. So the rest of the material, because it is in this swift leather, it will slouch. So for me, in order to keep it in a kind of like a structured shape, I use a bag organizer inside, and that obviously helps it keep its boxy doctor bag kind of shape. And obviously that also helps me find my things easier. I don't have to be like, you know, stirring my bag to find stuff. So this is another bag that I find very, very good as a structured bag for work. Now when it comes to material, my preference for a perfect work bag is leather. Second, canvas. And I know with leather it gets a little bit weighty, but I feel leather has a little bit of class. It has that touch of, you know, like, wow, work bag. You know what I mean? I can't compare it with canvas. Obviously I would pick canvas if I needed my bag to be lighter, but my preference is definitely leather. Somehow leather looks a little bit more put together. So same thing again, I'm just using these two examples. I have another one which I'll show you towards the end of the video. But with leather, it just looks a little bit more not put together, you know, it looks a little bit more classy. It looks like a work bag. In terms of size, as you can see, my jumbo and my blue Thalassa are pretty much the same, what do you call this, like a width or length. They are pretty much the same, and this is the kind of size that I go for in a work bag. It's not that I bring a lot of things to work. It's not that I have like, you know, makeup bags and all kinds of stuff, but I do want that flexibility to put more things. So when I need to go out, let's say I have to go to an event, I would definitely carry my two phones. Then I'll carry my wallet, and I'll carry some tissue, then I'll carry some pen, paper, maybe I'll need to put in my diary as well, and then yeah, maybe a lipstick and everything. So I want that flexibility to put stuff inside. If it's a small dinky bag, like half the size, you could probably use it for work, but for me, I prefer that little bit of extra space. Now this is my Chanel DeVille tote, and this Chanel bag, I know a lot of people use this for work and they find it very good because you can keep a lot of things, but for me it's a little bit too big and it's a little bit too unstructured. I don't know, maybe it's a Friday kind of bag, but for this bag I feel like it's too big, it's got too much space, and I don't need such a big bag as a handbag for work. When I use this bag, I actually put it together with my laptop. Oh my goodness, it is so hot in this room. I just turned on the aircon, so please excuse the aircon sound. So coming back to my Chanel DeVille tote, this is too big for me for work. On a day-to-day basis, this bag is extremely large. I don't need so many things. So the perfect size would be up to my Chanel jumbo bag. Now in terms of weight, because my preference is leather, the heaviest I would go is my Chanel jumbo bag. Now this bag, because of the hardware, makes it about 1 kilo. So it is pretty heavy, especially once you put stuff inside, but I kind of manage this, the weight of this bag. I can kind of accept it because I know I'm fitting a lot of things inside. Toolbox is about the same weight as the jumbo bag. It is pretty similar. It is quite a chunky, heavy bag. It comes with a canvas strap, so you know, the amount of leather that this comes with compared to the Chanel bag, this has more, so that makes the bag itself heavy because of the weight of the chain. So, you know, plus minus, they're both about the same weight, so that's about as heavy as I would go. Anything heavier would be just not good for my shoulders, and no, I would not carry it. It's just too heavy. So for weight wise, I can kind of go up to the Chanel weight. The last thing that I look for in a work bag is the way I hold it. So I don't think a crossbody bag is suitable for work. I don't think that a shoulder sling that goes up to the waist is also suitable for work. I mean, for my personal work experience or my work setting, for me the perfect way to hold a work bag is either you grip it with your fingers, put it at the crook of your arm, or let it sling at your shoulder up to around the waist, like so, like a short shoulder bag. So coming back to my Chanel jumbo bag, this to me, this kind of sling on your shoulder right here like this, like that, is amazing as a work bag. It just looks so put together, leather, structure and all that. It just looks good. So if I want to go use it like this, long as a, you know, handbag here, I don't feel like it's so suitable for work. As a crossbody bag for work like this, I don't think it's so nice. It's just that maybe because I'm wearing a work dress, like a work dress, and it looks a little bit more, you know, slim fitting, cut and all that, and then you got this crossbody bag, it's like, no. So not so nice. So I think it looks very ladylike. Oh, let me get this out. So it looks very ladylike if you put it as your shoulder like this and you just carry it. So let me show you the toolbox. So like I said, the toolbox, if you hold it as a grip in your hand and you just let it dangle down, it looks very pretty. And then obviously if you put it like this, this also looks very nice as a, you know, crook of the arm kind of bag. So these are the two ways that I like to carry my perfect work bag. I've talked about my two perfect work bags. I'm going to show you the third perfect work bag for me right now. Actually my Chanel Gabrielle bag. So this bag, it has all the features that I talked about. Let's not talk about the straps first, okay? For me, this is pretty understated. I picked the beige and the black. Instead of all black, I wanted something different. Now, if it was all black, that was even more understated. But these two colors together, it doesn't shout like, you know, too, you know, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't have logos. Next is structure. It is obviously very structured, even though this part is very soft. But the base gives it the structure and it's easy for me to find things. Now, I wouldn't say it's as easy as my Chanel jumbo bag because it's a little bit deeper and it's more narrow. So I do have to put my things kind of properly so that I won't have to dig around with it. But because the color is red inside, I can, you know, find things quite easily. Thirdly, because it's leather, so I feel like I said earlier, leather is more put together. And then for size wise, as you can see, it is very similar to my Chanel jumbo size, so for me it is the perfect size as well. And finally, the way I can wear it. So this bag falls just around my waist, like this. So I've been using this bag as my work bag for the past 2 weeks now, and the only comment I got about this bag, nobody knew it was Chanel, nobody was like, oh, that's a Chanel bag. The only comment that I got about this bag is like, wow, so many chains, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit different. So when I tell them, oh, it's got a few different type of chains, they're like, oh, interesting, but isn't it heavy? That's the only thing that I've only heard. But other than that, everybody's like, nobody looks at my bag. The other bag that I would have picked as a perfect work bag is my Lindy bag. It fulfills 4 out of the 5 criteria. So it's leather, it is less hardware, no logo, and it is a good size. So it's a size 26. So between a size 26 to a 30 is a good size. It can be carried on my shoulder, in, you know, gripped on my hand as well. The only thing, it is a little bit unstructured. So I manage it by either using a bag organizer inside, or I kind of use a lot of little baggies inside to manage that unstructuredness of it, because it's very flat, you know, it falls, it slouches towards the middle. So that's the only thing. And obviously I don't want to pick it from, I mean, in my case, I can't pick it because it's in a bright red color. But if you have a Lindy bag, it will also be a perfect work bag. I feel like if I bought my Lindy bag in, let's say, like the gold color, or maybe the taupe color, or the black color, or even any of the dark colors, but the dark blue color, it would be a perfect work bag for me as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below which is your perfect work bag. As you can see, I picked 3, which is my Chanel Jumbo, my Hermes Toolbox, and then my Chanel Gabrielle bag. These are my perfect 3 work bags. What is your number 1 like perfect work bag? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, you guys take care and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!